The reason girls are like FBI agents is because the amount of men who literally just lie about the craziest things. I have dated a lot of characters and I've had a lot of men lie to me about a lot of things, but one of the things that really takes the cake is this one time I didn't even know my own boyfriend was twice my age. I was 22 years old. I was working for an alcohol company, and at one of these events, this man, he was very charming, comes up to me and is like really obsessed with me. And I was like high key, like loving it. It wasn't obsessed like Joe from You. It was more just like he knew what he wanted. Like now I'm realizing it was a total love bombing thing, but back then I was so for it. And anyway, he asked how old I was. I said I was 22. I asked how old he was. He said he was 31. And I didn't question it because he looked really good. He was like in shape, very cute, charming. And so eventually we end up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. And after like a lot of red flags and a lot of like very adamant love bombing and then blaming me for things I didn't do and just like that whole cycle of a narcissist, right? I just have this gut feeling that he was hiding something. I remember him saying that like back in the day he was like on this reality show. And keep in mind, this story already takes place about 6 years ago, and this reality show came out 10 years ago from that 6 years ago. So it wasn't like an easy thing to find. It was like I had to go find one of those sketchy websites to actually watch it. And so I remember finding it and watching it, and I saw him come up, and I didn't think anything of it because it was him, his name, his age, and his age was 31. And then it clicked. I was like, wait a minute. How are you 31 10 years ago if you're 31 now? So I called and demanded him to tell me how old he is. And then I kept asking and asking and asking. And then I was like, well, I know the answer, so you better figure it out. And eventually he comes clean and reveals to me that he was 43 years old. Also, I forgot to mention, I wasn't 22, I was 21. I turned 22 at some point in our relationship. So I was 21 and he was 43 when I met him, and I didn't know that he was twice my age. But besides that, there were so many other red flags, so obviously didn't end up working out. But it is so crazy to me that I didn't do my research on people before I started dating them back then, because I swear by now, I feel like it's just safe, you know? And people always want to be like, oh, you're crazy, you're psychotic, blah, blah, blah. But it's like people really be out here lying. Like the world is so dangerous. Anytime I meet somebody on like a dating app or just like at a bar or whatever, like I always search for them on this website called Spyfly. And it gives me a basic, solid background report to just verify that they're exactly who they say they are and that there are no surprises. They actually have a TikTok if you want to go check that out. But yeah, if you're a woman on dating apps or going on dates with people, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do your research because people out here are crazy. I literally don't know how younger me just blindly went out with these men because so many of them were like, wow. Women too, though. Women also suck, but I started getting more serious with them after I started doing my research and I caught the red flags before it got too deep. But yeah, little pro dating tip, Spyfly.